There is a comfort in the American outdoors that almost no one thinks to question. The trailhead with the wooden sign, the lake with the boat ramp, the green edge of a subdivision where the mowed grass runs out and the trees begin. You walk into these places the way you walk through your own house, half listening, certain that whatever is dangerous is somewhere else. Another state. A documentary behind glass. And for almost every animal in this country, you are right. Almost every wild thing you will ever meet wants nothing to do with you and will spend its entire life making sure you never see it. This list is not about those animals. Most lists of dangerous American animals are really just lists of things that can kill you by accident. A rattlesnake you step on. A moose you startle. A bison you crowded for a photograph. Those animals are dangerous the way a downed power line is dangerous, indifferent, defensive, deadly, only because you got too close. That is not what we are counting down today. Today we are ranking 8 animals by something much narrower and much stranger. Not how many people they kill, not how much venom they carry. We are ranking them by whether they will actually hunt you, whether under the right conditions, an animal will look at a human being and see not a threat to escape, but prey to pursue. That is a small list. It leaves off nearly every snake, nearly every insect, nearly everything people are usually taught to fear. What remains are the animals that have crossed a line, not the line between calm and angry, the line between defending themselves and eating you. The countdown runs from the animal that does this least often and least deliberately, up to the one animal on this continent that will do it on purpose. No provocation, no mistake, no confusion about what you are. And by the time we reach number 1, the idea of a safe place outdoors starts to look less like a fact and more like something we simply agreed to believe. If this is the kind of thing you find yourself thinking about, go ahead and subscribe. It takes 2 seconds, and it genuinely helps the channel keep making these. And while you are here, I want to know one thing. Where in the world are you watching from right now? Drop your town in the comments. Big city, small trail town, it does not matter. I love seeing how far this reaches. Now let's get into the list. Number 8, the coyote. We begin with the animal you have already dismissed. The coyote is the most successful predator in modern America, found in every state but Hawaii, thriving in the alleys of Los Angeles and Chicago as easily as in any desert. And that success rests on a single trick. It does not read as a predator at all. It reads as a stray dog. That is the denial that puts it at number 8. When a coyote trots across a parking lot at dusk, the mind reaches for someone's lost pet because a wild hunter working the edge of your neighborhood does not fit the story you tell about where you live. But it is a hunter, and on the rare occasion it decides a person is prey, it goes after the smallest person it can find. In August of 1981, a 3-year-old named Kelly Keene was taken from the driveway of her family's home in Glendale, California, and dragged into the street by an urban coyote before her father could reach her. It remains the only confirmed fatal coyote attack on a human being in United States history. So why is a one-in-a-century death near the top of a list about manhunters? Because the mechanism behind it is spreading. Researchers have documented that coyotes fed by people on purpose or through open garbage lose their fear in stages. Avoidance, then boldness, then stalking joggers and children. Each fed coyote is a small experiment in how close the animal is willing to come. The coyote earns number 8, not because it is likely to hunt you. It earns it because it is the clearest proof of the theme of this entire list. The predators that hunt humans are almost always the ones we taught to stop being afraid. Number 7. The American black bear. Move up the list, and the denial gets more specific and far more dangerous. Ask most people about black bears, and they will tell you the same 3 things. Black bears are timid. Black bears run away. The only real danger is getting between a mother and her cubs. Almost all of that is true. The one part that is false is the part that kills people. The definitive study was led by the bear biologist Stephen Herrero, who reviewed every recorded fatal black bear attack in North America from 1900 to 2009. 63 people killed across 59 incidents. And here is the finding that overturns the folklore. 88% of those fatal attacks were predatory. The bear was not guarding cubs. It was not defending a carcass. It was hunting. And 92% of those predatory bears were male, the lone adult, not the mother everyone is trained to fear. That one fact rearranges the entire picture. The defensive mother is loud. She huffs. She slaps the ground. She almost always leaves the moment you give her room. The bear that actually kills does the opposite. It is quiet. It follows. It shows none of the stress signals people are told to look for because it is not stressed. It is interested. The way any predator is interested in a meal. This is why the standard advice flips. With a defensive bear, you back away. With a bear that is calmly, silently closing the distance, you fight, because playing dead only helps a predator finish. The black bear takes number 7 because millions of Americans share the woods with it while fearing the wrong bear entirely. Number 6. The American alligator. Now we move from the animal people misjudge to the animal people have simply stopped seeing. There are an estimated 5 million American alligators across the southeastern United States, well over 1 million in Florida alone, roughly 2 million in Louisiana, and they live in essentially every fresh and brackish waterway in that range. The retention pond behind the office park, the golf course lagoon, the canal behind the subdivision. Not some of them, potentially all of them. The alligator makes this list, ahead of animals that kill more people because of how it hunts. It is one of the most patient ambush predators on Earth, able to hold motionless at the waterline for hours, all but invisible in dark water, with a strike that closes in a fraction of a second. A large male can pass 10 feet and 1,000 pounds. It does not chase. It waits. At the exact edge, where land meets water, the edge where people fill buckets, launch kayaks, let the dog drink, and let the kids play. And here is what earns its rank.
Before we go on, I made something special for you. A guide for people like us, who'd rather know what's out there than get caught off guard. It's the Wild States Field Kit. The guides that show you which dangerous animals are moving in near you, exactly what to do when you meet one, and how to keep them off your property. Because these animals are spreading faster than most people realize. And the time to learn this is before you're standing face to face with one. Don't wait until it's in your backyard. Scan the QR code on screen or click the link below. Go ahead, I'll wait right here.
The alligators most likely to hunt a person are the ones people have fed. Wildlife agencies are unusually blunt about this. A wild alligator connects humans with nothing and keeps its distance. A fed alligator learns that people mean food, loses its caution, and starts to come closer. That habituation is not natural, it is manufactured, one tossed marshmallow at a time, in the exact ponds where families gather. The denial here is not that the alligator is absent. Everyone knows it is there. The denial is the casual daily pretense that the 10-foot ambush predator in the neighborhood lake is a fixture, a feature, almost a pet. right up until the morning it decides you are prey. Number 5. The bull shark. We are at the halfway point, and if you are still here, you clearly want to know what is actually out there. So hit subscribe if you haven't yet, because from here up, the animals stop making mistakes about us. Everyone accepts that there are sharks off the American coast. That is the deal you make with the ocean. What almost no one accounts for is the one shark that refuses to stay in it. The bull shark is broad, powerful, and reaches up to roughly 11 feet. And it carries a gift that almost no other large shark has. It can control the salt in its own body and move freely out of salt water and into fresh. It uses that gift to leave the ocean entirely. Bull sharks have been confirmed hundreds of miles up American river systems, far up the Mississippi, deep into fresh water. And in Florida, they are documented residents of tidal rivers well away from the open Gulf. Many researchers consider the bull shark responsible for more attacks in shallow, near shore, and river water than any other shark, for one simple reason. It hunts precisely where people are, not out past the breakers, in the murky, waist-deep, brackish water of a river mouth on a warm afternoon. That is what places it at number 5. Every other danger on this list stays roughly where you expect it to be. The bull shark erases the boundary you were counting on. The man fishing waist-deep in a tidal river at dusk. The family swimming off a sandbar in an estuary. They are sharing that water with an animal built to hunt it, one that followed the tide inland without a single sign marking the crossing from ocean to river. There is no fence. There is no line. The fresh water is not a refuge from the shark. For the bull shark, it is simply more hunting ground. Number 4. The gray wolf. Now we reach an animal wrapped in one of the most comforting myths in American wildlife. A myth that, for decades, was repeated as fact. For most of the 20th century, the official line was that a wild, healthy wolf had never killed a person in North America. Wolves, people were told, simply do not do this. And that belief itself is the denial that puts the wolf at number 4. Because the belief was wrong, and it cost lives before anyone corrected it. In November of 2005, a 22-year-old engineering student named Kenton Carnegie was killed by wolves near a remote camp in Saskatchewan. Wolves that had spent that autumn feeding on the camp's garbage and losing their fear of people. Investigators later described a chilling progression. Wolves growing bolder in stages, testing the humans around the camp with what one biologist called an exploratory attack, closing in to learn how hard a person is to kill before the fatal one. 5 years later, in March of 2010, a schoolteacher named Candace Berner was killed by wolves while jogging on a road outside Chignik Lake, Alaska. It was the first documented fatal wolf attack in the state's history. DNA confirmed it. The wolf ranks where it does because these deaths are genuinely rare. There are tens of thousands of wolves in North America, and only a handful of such cases. But the pattern behind them is the exact pattern of this list. A running human triggers the chase. A slight, lone figure reads as manageable prey. And habituation, again, is the accelerant. The wolves in both cases had learned that people, and the places people gather, meant food. Number 4 goes to the predator, whose best disguise was our own certainty that it would never hunt us. Number 3, the grizzly bear. At number 3, we reach an animal almost no one underestimates, and yet the exact way it can hunt a person is still widely misunderstood. There are only about 1,900 grizzly bears left in the lower 48 states, concentrated around Yellowstone and the mountains of northern Montana, a fraction of their former range. They are protected. They are rare. Meeting one at all is unlikely, but when a grizzly does turn on a human, the distinction that matters is the one most people get exactly backwards. The overwhelming majority of grizzly attacks are defensive. A startled bear, a mother with cubs, a carcass she is guarding. Those are terrifying and they can be deadly, but they are reactions, and they usually end the instant the bear decides the threat is gone. That is why the classic advice is to play dead. Convince a defensive bear you are not a danger, and it typically leaves. But there is a second, rarer kind of grizzly encounter, and for that one, the advice completely reverses. When a bear approaches calmly and with focus, head up, ears forward, tracking you with clear intent, it is not defending anything. It has identified you as food. That predatory grizzly is often a food-conditioned one. A bear that has learned people and campsites mean an easy meal. There are documented cases of such a bear entering a camp, smelling stored food, and returning in the night to kill a person asleep in a tent. Against that bear, playing dead is the worst possible choice. It only speeds up what the bear already intends. You fight. The grizzly takes number 3 because it forces you to read intent correctly under the worst pressure imaginable. Same animal, same species, opposite responses, and getting the difference wrong is fatal. Number 2, the mountain lion. Our number 2 is the most complete ambush predator in the lower 48, and the reason it ranks this high sits in a single unsettling line from the people who study it. If a mountain lion is truly hunting you, you will almost certainly never know until it is already happening. There are an estimated 20 to 30,000 mountain lions in the western United States. Cougar, puma, panther, ghost cat. Most people who spend their whole lives in lion country never see one. That invisibility is not luck. It is the strategy. The mountain lion does not announce itself. It does not bluff. It does not warn. It follows silently from cover and closes the distance in a few explosive bounds before the strike lands. Fatal attacks are rare. Roughly 29 confirmed deaths in North America over the past century. But the pattern inside them is grimly consistent. The victims are usually alone. Very often they are children or adults who were running, because that is what activates the hunt. The lone, small, moving target, a jogger on a quiet trail, a child who wandered a little ahead of the group. Researchers note that attacking cats aim for the head and neck, the same way they take down deer, the mechanics of predation, not defense. And here is the part that should stay with you. The snarling, backing away cat in a viral video is a frightened animal warning you off. A lion that means to eat you gives no such performance. It stays hidden until the last possible second. The mountain lion earns number 2 because it removes the one thing nearly every other animal on this list at least occasionally grants you: a moment of warning. With the ghost cat, the first sign that you were prey is usually the attack itself. Number 1, the polar bear. And so we arrive at number 1. And it is the only animal on this list where the denial finally disappears, because with the polar bear, there is nothing left to pretend. Every other predator we have counted down hunts humans by exception. It takes a fed coyote, a food-conditioned bear, a mistaken identity, a running target, a specific unusual failure of the normal order. The polar bear needs none of that. It is the one land predator in North America that will hunt a human being as prey, deliberately, for no reason other than that you are meat, and it is hungry. It is the largest land carnivore on Earth. An adult male can pass 1,500 pounds and stand over 10 feet tall. It lives where almost nothing grows, which means, unlike its grizzly and black bear cousins, it survives on flesh alone. And it evolved as the top predator in a world with almost no fear to learn. It did not grow up avoiding anything. Biologists who study them put it plainly. While tigers and lions become man-eaters only in rare, damaged circumstances, a hungry polar bear will simply set out to hunt a person the same way it hunts a seal. It stalks. It waits at the water's edge. It stills itself and closes in. To a polar bear, a human is not a threat to repel or an intruder to warn off. A human is prey. In the United States, this danger lives in the far north of Alaska, and it is not hypothetical. Arctic communities have suffered fatal polar bear attacks in recent years, including one that killed 2 people in a remote village. And as the sea ice these bears hunt from keeps shrinking, hungrier bears are spending more time on land, closer to where people are. The polar bear is number 1 because it is the purest version of everything this list is about, stripped of every comforting exception. No habituation required, no provocation needed, no mistake being made. It looks at you, and it sees food. So, look back down the list and notice what actually connects it. Not size, not body count, not venom. The thread that runs from the coyote in the driveway to the bear on the ice is one quiet capacity, the ability to stop seeing a person as a danger and start seeing a person as a meal. And in almost every case, we are the ones who opened the door. The fed animal, the unsecured dumpster, the certainty that the wild thing would never cross a line, it turned out to be perfectly willing to cross. And in almost every case, the moment it crosses, you do not get a warning. The coyote still reads as a stray dog. The lion is still a shape you will never see. The bull shark is still riding the tide up a river with no name on the crossing. What is known is that these animals were hunting long before we built trailheads and boat ramps and backyard docks on top of their country. That the quiet you feel at the water's edge is your quiet, not theirs. And that somewhere north of the ice, in the one place on this continent where nothing has to go wrong for it to happen, a white shape is moving low across the snow, patient, unafraid, and looking, the way it has always looked, for something warm.